Hello and welcome back to the Not Old Firm YouTube channel. My name is Ben Bangs, ahead of this weekend's Scottish Cup semi-finals between Hibs and Dundee United and St Johnstone and St Mirren at Hampden Park. The final four pieces of this year's competition ready to take to action in Mount Florida and have a wee preview ahead of those games. Great to see four non-old firm teams for a change in these again. Thought it would be sort of once in a wee while for the League Cup in January. Lightning has struck twice for the first time since the 1940s when the League Cup was brought into play. So, yeah, brilliant for Scottish football as a whole. I think to see different winners of the Cups. Maybe not if St Johnstone get their way, but we'll talk about all that in a bit. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. It'd help us out greatly. We'll hear from couple of managers and a player as well in the duration of this video. We'll start with Hibs v Dundee United. Probably, I think they're all quite tight games, but for me, this is perhaps, I don't want to sound disparaging in another tie, but perhaps the easiest to call, the one you would think Hibs should come out on top. Dundee United have had a fairly decent season under Mickey Mellon without being spectacular. First time up in the Scottish Premiership since being relegated to the Championship. Mickey Mellon, his first season in the job as well. They've never looked like going down. They're going to finish mid-table in a semi-final spot. That's all pretty decent. But it has been linked with a move back down south, most notably with Doncaster Rovers. And there's been a few murmurs that he could potentially be going back down south after this season. But that remains to be seen. Very much focused on this weekend. Will he be with his squad? They were brilliant against Aberdeen a couple of weeks ago, that 3-0 win up at Tawdry, to set this up with Hibs, who have been in multiple semi-finals in the last couple of seasons. They've suffered 2 losses at the semi-final stage of this season, once in last season's competition in October against Hearts, and then in January against St Johnstone, who they could potentially meet in the final. So stars aligning and maybe in terms of League Cup heartache and then Scottish Cup success, similar to sort of 2015-16 season that Hibs fans know all too well. But yeah, you would expect Hibs are probably big favourites, even though Dundee United have got a great history with trophies and things like that compared to Johnstone and St Mirren, with all due respect. You would probably say St Mirren and St Johnstone are probably looking the stronger of sort of out of Dundee United, St Johnstone, St Mirren, Hibs being the favourites probably for the Cup, given their strong Scottish Premiership season. So you would expect Hibs to come out on top in this one, but you never know in Cup football. We heard from Hibs manager Jack Ross and striker Christian Doidge ahead of this one. Both are well aware of the hurt the last couple of Hampden visits have caused, but they both think Hibs can go one step further, potentially another this time.
Yeah, certainly up there. It's a great game to be involved in. We're all really looking forward to it. So it's obviously a massive game, and we've been working hard all week, and hopefully we can get the result that we want. Yeah, not so much this week, but throughout the year you always get the odd remark about obviously that great occasion. I've said many times before, that's one of the reasons that you decide to, well, for me, moving up from playing down in England, was seeing the scenes on YouTube of, you know, Davey scoring the winner and the celebrations after, and that's something that you really want to be a part of. The lads are quite humble. They don't really shout from the rooftops, but everyone is very aware of the magnitude of this game and, you know, the occasion if you win it. Yeah, definitely. But I watched it before I'd met the lads. I think Graham Matthew, that was one of the things that he showed us, and just to show you the size of the club and how much competitions like that mean to the football club. And, you know, it's something that you really want to be a part of, and to be close to getting to a final. You don't play in many finals in your career, so hopefully we can get through this one.
Well, I think to take the second part to begin with, whether you're labelled favourites or outsiders, I think doesn't really matter an awful lot when you get to this stage of the tournament. I think when all the teams that are left in it realise they're only 2 wins away from achieving major success, I think that goes out the window. So for us, it's not something that we've either spoken about or paid much attention to. And then again, to a degree, the previous experiences don't count for anything because it's a game in its own merits on Saturday. However, we've you pointed out we've had the soreness of losing two semi-finals close together, or relatively close together. And the one thing that it does do is give you that acute reminder of what that feels like, and it is painful. And you have two choices in that regard: not want to go back there to avoid that feeling, or get back there to make sure you come out on the right side of that feeling. And we've got a group that's fully determined, I think, to have that positive feeling in the aftermath of Saturday's game.
St Mirren versus St Johnstone, or St Johnstone v. I never know what way you put these things around. I think it's St Johnstone v. St Mirren. Big talking point ahead of this one has been in the St Johnstone cap, and unfortunately, it's COVID-19 test. It's been a while since we've mentioned any of that. Can't even really remember the last time we had a COVID problem within Scottish football. It might have been maybe 2020 time. Certainly not being one or a major one in 2021, but this is a pretty sore one for St Johnstone. They're going to be missing two players through positive tests, and we wish those players well, and another two through self-isolation measures. They've brought in Zednik Lamal on a 7-day emergency loan ahead of this one, who was ironically also on COVID cover at St Mirren earlier this season when they had goalkeeper problems. I mean, don't want to read too much into it, you don't want to speculate on something like this, especially when health comes into it, but signing a goalkeeper on an emergency loan would suggest that perhaps the goalkeeper department is somewhere where St Johnstone have been affected. But regardless, we'll soon see on Sunday, and we wish all those affected a speedy recovery. St Johnstone arguably the favourites for this one, given their success in the League Cup. They've had an outstanding season under Callum Davidson, his first season as St Johnstone manager. They're top six, League Cup winners, and in a Scottish Cup semi-final. Even if they lose here, this season will still be remembered as one of the greatest in St Johnstone's modern history, perhaps their whole entire history. It has been that good. He's done a stellar job, and he's going to have a hard task of living up to next season. Not even withstanding the cup results, they've also had some really great results away at Celtic and Rangers. They had that draw, maybe not so much a draw, I mean, it pales in comparison to other stuff. Most notably, I'm talking about, of course, the penalty shootout win over Rangers. But for St Mirren, Jim Goodwin speaking today, as we record this on the Friday, about not wanting to be the nearly team. They've just about missed out in the Scottish Cup, League Cup at the semi-final stage. They missed out on the top six by a couple of goals. So they don't want to get a habit of being, well, we nearly did this, we nearly did that. But all in all, it's been a really successful season for St Mirren. Perhaps disappointed that the league season looks like it's going to end the way it has. A 2-1 defeat last weekend against Hamilton. They're probably destined to maybe finish somewhere between 7th and 9th, which I think if they did finish even 8th, considering the fact they were 2 goals away from the top 6, will be quite disappointing for them. But overall, they've never been in danger of going down this season, and they've been really strong in the Cups. Jim Goodwin building a really nice team there. One of the best players for him this season has been Marcus Fraser. He's signed a 2-year extension, and Jim Goodwin believes his Player of the Year nominee deserves all the plaudits he's getting.
Really pleased, obviously, to get Marcus tied down again for another couple of seasons. He's been a star performer for us from day one, really, and he'll no doubt be in the running for a Player of the Year award as well. So it's another step in the right direction. It's something that we're trying to do and have been trying to do since the turn of the year, is just try and continue to extend the contracts of those players who deserve to be rewarded. No, I mean, look, obviously these things don't always happen as quickly as what you would like them to do. It was, Tony Fitzpatrick and obviously Marcus's representatives going back and forth, and obviously everybody trying to get the best deal for each other. But it wasn't a difficult one to get agreed at the end. Marcus is very happy here. I'm delighted with the performances that he put in, and he's a great professional, a really good example to the rest of the members in the group, and just one of our most consistent performers all season, really. So he thoroughly deserves the new contract that he's got.
And that's all we've got time for on this preview. Hope you have enjoyed. We'll have instant reactions to these games as well over the Saturday and Sunday, so do check them out once they are live on our site. We'll also have a wee video as well. We were at Partick Thistle's title celebrations. We were there ahead of some people. We'll come to light in the video if you've been living under a rock and haven't seen it. But we'll have that out as well over the weekend or on Monday, probably more likely Monday, to be honest, because that's when all the embargoes are lifted and we can put out our full complement video as well. So do check that out when it drops either on Sunday or early next week. Right, enough of my rambling. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take it easy.